So if you're watching, hello. I'm going to assume that everyone can hear me. It is Christine from the Plant Life Canada, which you already know, and I'm here to make a really delicious, healthy version of like an ooey gooey kind of restaurant dish. So today we are making healthy quesadillas, healthy vegan quesadillas. And it's a really simple recipe. I always try to keep my recipes about under 20 minutes. And have tips on how to do things easier and stuff like that. So hopefully this recipe you will enjoy and it'll be easy and amazing. So for this recipe, for our vegan healthy quesadillas, what we need is some whole wheat wraps. So I have a brand here in Canada called Casa Mendoza, and the whole wheat ones are vegan and they are delicious and they're whole wheat. And then you also need some chopped veggies. So I've got, which I'll show you in a second there, you can probably hear them cooking. I have peppers, onions, mushrooms, and garlic. So you need those all chopped up. And then you also are going to need some Mexican-inspired spices. Or if you have just a Mexican-inspired spice mix ready, you can get that going. You will also need nutritional yeast, which is in pretty much every single one of my recipes. And then the main ingredient, the big vegan swap for this recipe, is mashed sweet potato. So the sweet potato is taking place of the cheese, and it already has an amazing orange color. Ours is a little roasted here, and it's great to use instead of even vegan cheese because you get a little bit more nutrition out of it. Vegan cheese is pretty healthy to begin with, but it is a lot of processed food, so we need also sweet potatoes. So we're going to assemble this all together. I have the veggies cooking a little bit, but basically you want to either roast and mash these potatoes, or you can boil them and mash them. So we roasted them and it got a little charred, which will give it like a nice charred flavor when we put everything together. So first of all, we're going to prepare our potatoes. So here we go. So we have our bowl of mashed potatoes, and you can leave the skins on, take the skins off. You can boil them first, roast them first, whatever you want. So you need one mashed potato, and you don't need too much on each one. So this is about half of a sweet potato here. So in this sweet potato, and again, I always let the sweet potato cool down so that you don't like melt your wraps when you're putting them all together. So into the sweet potato, to get us some cheesy flavor, is some nutritional yeast. Probably about a tablespoon, about for that much. And then in here I have onion powder, garlic powder. I have cumin, chili powder, and turmeric. So you can make your own mix, or you can get something like a taco mix. And I actually have also, I bought this online, it's like a nacho cheese mix. So I'm going to put some of our sort of Mexican seasonings and a little bit of this nacho cheese, because the sweet potato is going to be our cheese. So I'm putting half of that in there, and some of the nacho cheese. This is from, I think this is an Australian company. They're pretty good. If you can find that, definitely get it. And we're going to mix that all into our mashed sweet potato. And again, this sweet potato is a bit dark because we roasted it, but when you have it boiled, you get that really nice, bright, sort of like nacho cheese color. So that's pretty simple. You just want to mix that in. If you want to be extra decadent, you can throw some vegan basil margarine in, and that would be delicious. So you've got your mashed sweet potato there. And then we also have already going, we have our chopped veggies frying up here. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up. And so in there I have peppers, onions, mushrooms, and garlic. And you can put, this is another one of those like leftover recipes, so you can put whatever leftover veggies you want. Just make sure you chop them pretty small, because we're going to be squishing them in our wraps. So you don't want like giant chunks of vegetables. And I've cooked these all with no oil. So you can make that choice when you're cooking. And then what I love to do with the veggies before I put them in, obviously we're going to season them, but I like to make them a little bit saucy. So instead of like making a cheesy sauce or something like that, we're just going to deglaze a little bit with some water. And you can use this trick for any kind of veggies that you kind of want to maybe saute up and make them a little bit saucy, but you don't want to make a big deal for making the sauce. So I just deglaze that with a little bit of water. I'm going to turn up the heat, and then I'm going to put the rest of our sort of Mexican spice mix in there. So if you've seen it in my other videos, this is magical nutritional yeast, which I get at Bulk Barn, which is the cheapest place to get it around me in Ontario, Canada. And it gives a savory or cheesy flavor depending on the recipe. And it also thickens sauces. So it's really good to put in dips or soups to make it a bit thick. So I think we've got about 1.5 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons. And that's going to work with the water in order to make sort of a thick flavored sauce with our spices, which will help with the flavor and the ooey gooeyness of our quesadillas. So we're gonna let that cook up. So you can see it's coating it in sort of a sauce there, which is, I don't know, I like that better. Even when I make, say, a Buddha bowl, or I just saute up some vegetables to eat, it's kind of boring when they're dry. So a good way to make it a little more exciting and a little more moist is to get some water and nutritional yeast in there and then do whatever spices you want to do. So that is awesome and saucy. I'm going to turn the heat down there so it doesn't dry out. Actually, I'm going to turn it right off. So now we're going to assemble our quesadilla. And this is like the most super duper easy thing to make, but it turns out so delicious and pretty much guilt-free if you're trying to be healthier or more whole foods or watch your calories or whatever you're trying to do. It's just delicious. So we have our tortilla. So this is one of the big ones. And then we want to put, again, just you'll have to measure out yourself how much potato you made versus how many tortillas. So I'm going to take half of this for our purposes. And then you can use a knife, but if you have one, it's super fun to use a cake spatula. And you're just going to spread this pretty thin. You don't want it super thick. So you want to spread that all the way around. And again, we've got our nice sort of charred bits, but if you boiled it, you're going to get a really nice cheesy color, sort of cheddar cheese color out of this. So you want to spread it all the way to the outside, possibly off the edge in most cases because I'm super messy. And then we're going to put our veggies on it. So what you want to do, what I always do is kind of make a little mark down the middle like that. And then we're going to take our saucy veggies. And again, I just need half for my sort of recipe that I'm doing. And we're going to spread that just over half. We're going to fold these. So just make sure you spread out all the different kinds of vegetables. And I'm putting a lot in, but you know, if you only have a few vegetables, you can spread it out. It's still going to taste delicious. And then, like I said, if you want to have like lots of health stuff, but you want a little bit of vegan cheese, you can add a little bit of vegan cheese. So if you have the shreds, we have the Dia slices right now. And actually, if you are trying to be a little bit healthier, they're only about 60 calories a slice, which is not bad actually. So what I'm going to do, so for me, I only just need a little bit of the flavor that I like. So I'm just going to put, actually, let's put it here. And we're just going to do a little bit. But again, we've made the potatoes taste cheesy. So we've got lots of flavor there, but we're just going to put some of that there, like that. And we're going to fold it over. So make sure you get all the edges in, like it's not going to melt out, but you want to make sure your veggies don't fall out when you're flipping it. And then we're going to put this on a cookie tray. So I've got a bit of tin foil here, or parchment paper is the better option. And you're going to put that on there. And then we'll put together the second one. I'll show you guys again just one more time. We've got our whole wheat wrap. So this recipe is really awesome, and I used to make quesadillas before I was vegan, And actually, I made them out of all different flavors. So I would make broccoli and cheddar ones. I would make Mexican ones. I would make sort of Italian ones. I would put the potatoes or the cheese, and then you could put pizza sauce in here as well and have sort of like an Italian flavored one. Maybe if you had some nice field roast vegan sausages, you put those in. I used to just make quesadillas out of like every different flavor. And then I actually had a dream of making an all quesadilla restaurant with all these different flavors. So this one we're gonna make, again, we've got all of our potato in the bottom. We've got our little line. And put our veggies in. So this one I'm gonna leave plain with no vegan cheese in it. And we'll throw this over and press it down. So that's gonna be pretty good. We'll put that on our plate. And then we are done. So that was like a super quick recipe. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take these on your cookie tray and you're gonna do it in an oven, preheated oven at 400 degrees. And about 6 or 7 minutes per side. You're gonna flip it halfway through. And what's gonna happen is gonna get all nice and like crispy and golden on the outside. And then you'll have your delicious quesadilla. So when I make these, I have 2 and that's my dinner. So a little bit of YouTube magic, they come out like this. So we can see they are amazing. Let's see if I can get a good shot. And crispy and golden on both sides with all of our fillings in there. Look at that. What? So here I have just like a restaurant, your favorite restaurant dish. I've got a bit of salsa. Actually, my mom made this salsa. So that goes on there. And then I have, this is some healthy ranch dressing I made out of silken tofu. And I'm gonna blob that on top. So excited to eat this. Watch this. See if I can get this all in my mouth. Oh my God, it's so good. So good and gooey inside, even without the vegan cheese. So delicious. So you have your traditional quesadilla flavor, made vegan, made healthy. So good. For sure that ranch dressing, I think I made that in a different video I made one version with Hellmann's vegan mayo, and then I made one version with silken tofu. So this is our ranch dressing with silken tofu. And again, I put the nutritional yeast in this and it thickened up real nice, which helps when you're doing it with silken tofu, because silken tofu has a lot of water in it. So if you always put nutritional yeast in your little dips that might have a little bit too much water, it'll always gel up real nice. So there you go, guys. Gooey, healthy vegan quesadillas. Delicious. Awesome. So thank you so much for watching. I love seeing the same people come back every week, but I love seeing new people too. Try these out. They're on my meal plan this week. We have tons of wraps, so probably it'll be on the meal plan later in the week too. And I've got my salsa and my ranch dressing. So make sure you thumbs up this video. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you click the little notification bell, you'll get notified every time I schedule my live vegan cooking demo or any video that I post. And be sure to share it with your friends and family. And definitely share this food with them next time you see them. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Have a wonderful evening.